Thank you, Leader. We did have a really good discussion this morning, and the one thing you're always reminded of whenever you get a bunch of Republican senators together is that we are very much an entrepreneurial party. We don't march in lockstep. We have lots of people with really good ideas about how to move our country forward. The one thing that I think I would say and that everybody agrees on, and that is that the President's policies have made our economy much, much worse. And because his policies have made our economy worse, he is trying to distract and from that record and divide Americans, and talking about envy and division and all those sorts of things to get groups of Americans pitted against each other. We think there's a better way. We think that we ought to be talking not about how we can redistribute the pie, but how we can make it bigger for all Americans, how we can expand and grow our economy and create jobs. And so this morning it was really about us trying to come together around some of those key agenda items, and hopefully to be able to work with the Democrats on that, although it looks very much like they don't want to do a lot this year. I think that the leader on their side would like to insulate his members from having to make difficult votes in an election year. It's pretty clear we're not going to be having a budget this year, which of course is the blueprint, if you will, the path forward in terms of how we're going to deal with spending and debt and jobs in the economy. So, you know, we're at a loss right now as to why the Democrats are not going to produce a budget for now what would be the fourth year in a row. But I hope that there are some things that we can get done between now and the election. The American people expect us to act. We don't have the luxury of time. The issues that we face are big, and the consequences of inaction are great. So my hope would be that we will see some willingness on their part to work with us to put policies in place that will actually make it less expensive and less difficult to create jobs for small businesses in this country, rather than making it more expensive and more difficult, which is what we've seen with the Obama agenda and now the record in the economy that they have handed us. As the leader said, we have some folks who have been very much in the lead on this issue of religious liberty. It's pretty clear that we have in this country a heritage. We have the people who founded this country left other parts of the world because of the issue of religious persecution, and that is an incredible distinctive about America, and they don't have that. Religious liberty is not something that's known in many parts of the world, and certainly not in places like the Middle East. And what we have seen with this administration now is the trampling of that First Amendment protection and a systematic dismantling of religious liberty for people in this country. And so we believe that the President and hopefully his administration will walk back from this, but clearly this is an issue that has gotten the attention not only of people who would subscribe to various religions in this country, Catholics, Protestants, but those who perhaps maybe aren't even all that religious, simply because they see this as another attempt to grow government, to make it bigger and more expansive and more intrusive in their lives. And that is one of the very things that we warned about when Obamacare was adopted in the first place.